thank you so much for joining me for another exciting episode of Flawless Dreams Radio Show with your girl LeeLee Da Goddess over here. Today in Florida, it is a little bit chilly, so please be sure to bring a jacket when you go outside, okay? Because, yeah, you don't want to get caught having a cold, getting sick, especially when everybody is on the go, go, go. This is year of the fire horse after all. So what does that mean? Everybody's going to be busy, busy, busy. Lord knows I am. And hello, thank you for tuning into the show. So if you haven't noticed that there's a huge, huge number of photographers coming into play, I'm noticing that a lot of people are tapping into a talent that they didn't even realize that they had. And some people, they already knew that they had this talent, but they never really put it to work. So here we are. We're about to be introduced. I want to introduce you to someone who did take the time to put his craft into work over the years and take it seriously amongst all the things that he does already. Again, another person who just happens to wear so many hats. Let's welcome Alex Black to the show. Welcome to the
Hi,
show.
how you doing? How are you? Thank you for inviting me over. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, of course. No, I know. No, no. Thank you for the invitation. It's been it's my first time doing this kind of stuff, so I appreciate it.
So where can people find you on social media platforms so that they can follow you?
Well, on Facebook, you can find me by Alex Ramirez, and my picture is gonna be there, so like anybody can see me. On Instagram, you can find me as Alex Ramirez Productions, and in the photography world, you can find me as Alex Black Photo.
That's awesome. I hope everybody heard that because I know everybody who is an actor, a model, is going to need some new updated pictures for your portfolio. So you want to make sure that you get in touch with Alex Black over here. Okay, because
Thank
his work is fabulous. I love the lighting. I love everything that you're doing. So first, I think that everybody also wants to know is what is your zodiac sign? There's a lot of people who always love to hear that the
you.
answer so they can get excited and get freaked out and be like, oh, that's me too. So what's your zodiac sign?
Well, I'm a Libra, born on October 15th, 1987.
Oh, nice, nice, nice. Everybody heard that? Libra gang out there. So when did you start photography? Let's start with that one.
I would say I began working in photography for like on a regular basis, 2018, 2017. And that's because I would have to say one of my best friends, who was, I was a reservist at the time, and he was also a member of the reserves. And we would talk every once in a while, constantly, and he would take me along his gigs and teach me photography, teach me lighting, and how to interact with models, how to interact with people. And that's how I kind of like got my first camera, like one of those simple basic kits cameras. But he taught me a really important lesson in the process. Like the camera is not going to make the photo, is you as a creator. If you know how to manage the camera, the settings, the lens, if you understand the basics of photography, you can make a great photo with a simple basic camera. So
I
a
love
lot of
that.
people, so
I love
people
that.
tend to like focus on, oh, the gear, the model, the camera model, or if it's Sony, Nikon, Canon, or whatever the lens is. It's like, yeah, that's important gear to have, but you don't need it to create something good. If you understand the camera, if you understand its settings, you can
Yeah.
take great photos with a basic camera.
Right.
and
Exactly.
and that's how I learned, like by making good photos with a basic camera. And then as I grew, I began getting different lenses, soft boxes, lightings, and all that. And you just had to learn and cope with, growing as a photographer and
Right.
growing as a creator.
Right. And so, is there like a certain mode that you like to shoot? Like, for instance, some people like to shoot in black and white, sepia, color, or it doesn't matter.
To me, it doesn't matter. Like I believe that I've converted color photos into black and white photos, and that's because of preference. Like, yeah, I think that if you're able to create a session, whether it's urban, outdoors, or fashion, or whatever, in any kind of lighting, then you can play with its different settings and go into black and white, and go from there.
And is there like a type of photography that you do? Like, for instance, some people do cosplay, some people like different themes. They do cosplay or they do
Well,
um
I have initiated. I mean, initially, I began working on portraits, like like just outdoor fashion portraits or casual.
mhm,
And then I began doing more of the basic, simple boudoir and or bathing suit.
mhm,
I have done like different kinds of boudoir, and of course cosplay. Cosplay can be interpreted as fantasy um, or also boudoir because
mhm.
you're still doing a little bit of both. And so that's really subjective to the model on which which avenue she wants to take. If more of the boudoir feel or more of the fantasy or costume feel.
Right. Do you have a are you used to, excuse me, are you used to giving advice to models as to like what kind of themes they should steer towards? Um, because as the reason why I ask this is because as you as the photographer, you're looking at that model. They may want to do something, but you
Yeah.
may see that their look, their structure, their body might fit a different theme. And so maybe
Well,
you try to steer a
I
little bit.
think that I think that for that scenario, you will want to please the model in some way, like giving her the satisfaction that she tried, right? And that she was able to try that specific thing that was in her mind. Obviously, I look at the model and the theme and try to come up with different ideas that would match the session. For example, one of the things that I do is I provide her with a mood board, and that mood board gives her like different poses, different kinds of lighting ideas, different maybe like if it's going to be indoors or outdoors. So it gives the model some sort of options and see which one she would want to lead to, and then we execute that session. Now,
Mm,
I can execute the session to the best of my ability and try to edit the best I can, but I don't control how the person feels as far as with herself or with the session or anything like that. My job is to make your session comfortable and as fun as best as possible, but I don't
mhm.
control how you feel after the session.
Right. Have you ever collaborated with other photographers?
Uh, Not in a session. I would say that the only person that I work with was my mentor. All the rest of the time has been by myself.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
you did have a mentor, someone who was sort of
Yeah, yeah, the guy
yeah.
I was working, yeah, the guy that I mentioned earlier, who was also in the reserves with me, he became one of my best friends because we were not only friends in the service but also friends in the
Friends in
photo
the
world, and he
sort of.
taught me a lot about camera. Like he would have like 2 or 3 different cameras on him, and I would just have my
Oh,
little
oh,
Canon on me, and then he said, "No, you want to do this, do that," and I would take a picture, and he said, "Well, it's actually a pretty great picture. Now do this, do that." So he would allow me to take a few pictures on my own because he was now trusting what I was doing.
right, right, right. And is there like has what are the worst things that have ever happened on a photo shoot?
Uh, well, I have different scenarios to be honest. My first boudoir photo shoot that I did came out pretty bad, or because of bad review afterwards. The
Mm,
person was not satisfied with the photos. It was a 2 or 3 hour session that went down the toilet, to be honest, plus the
mm,
hours of editing. And
mhm.
after the bad review, I'm the kind of guy who I like to find out what happened. Hey, was the session wrong? Was the lighting? Was my
Yeah, so you can
behavior?
improve
Was
your
the
skills.
color?
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
exactly. And no, in the end, it was more about personal issues. And
Mm,
since I belong to like, I have friends who are also photographers and models. I have friends who work from Full Sail with my old school, and
mm.
they knew the person. They knew the
Oh,
person.
shout out to Full Sail University.
Yeah, exactly. Full Sail, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I did a lot of, even though I went to school for actual music production at Full Sail, I was also doing some photo work outside.
So let's tap into that music production. How long have you been doing music?
Well, I had began music before school. I would say 2 years prior entering Full Sail. So
So before
yes,
prior
I
to full
began. I would say I began playing guitar when I was in my teens, but I like just a hobby, just play guitar and
Mhm.
that's it. Uh, on 2012 to 2013, I began taking piano lessons. But it's hard when you're an adult. It's hard to play an instrument because your brain is already used to some sort of a habit. Your fingers and hands are not. It's hard to break away from certain things when it comes to music instrumentation. So I
Right.
began
I
taking
get where you're coming
classes
from.
2012, 2013, and on 2014 I began my career full sail.
Wow. So when
So
did you decide that you really wanted to pursue music production?
uh, I
Like
mean,
when did it become known that this is something that you really, it wasn't a hobby, it's something that you really want to
I
do
would
this for?
say 2013 is when I
So 20.
because yeah, because that's when I began like searching like different careers, and also because I'm a really introvert person. So like I'm not a should I say I'm not like you as far as being a stage and performer. I'm really shy when it comes to personality. So I'm really introvert, but I still wanted to do something related to music.
Mhm.
And a lot of people said that a lot of producers are somewhat in the introvert personality.
Mhm.
Not all of them, but the majority. Right, but
Mhm.
you can still make money, you can still make a living, and you can still
Yeah.
play music and still interact with artists because every single person has to make music somehow, whether it's in the home studio or on a recording label or recording studio environment. You can still make music and still able to
Right.
interact with people.
Do you ever play? For some people, it might sound silly to do this, but I don't think so. Do you ever play your own music that you've produced while you're doing a photo shoot for someone?
I've never tried it. I've never done
You
it.
try
No,
it. Try. You might as
no,
well. You
actually,
might
no,
as
I've
well
never
try
done it.
it.
I've never done it. Actually, I was thinking about playing one of my few latest songs. Once I get it mastered, to play it in my next session. So we'll see how the person goes. Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
I mean, I think it's worth a shot, and
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely worth a shot. I
sometimes
mean,
it's also motivating, and you can inspire yourself. To some people, that might sound narcissistic. No, it's not. If you're an artist and you're surrounding yourself with everything that you worked hard on, not
yeah.
a bad
Also, you can also the way I see it also is that since I know for sure that my art cannot be like it's not going to be likable for everybody or for any. So the best way to get some sort of should I say some feedback is that when you play your own song to somebody else or to a different crowd, it could be one person, it could be 10 people, it could be 50 people, right? By
Absolutely.
having a sense of their feedback, of their reaction or the emotional state of the song, then they can you as a producer, you can be like, oh, you know what? I can change this on this frequency. I can change the drums, or I can make some minor mental improvements for my next track, or even on the same track.
I like that. I like that you're explaining it so very well. Especially there's a lot of people who are aspiring to become photographers. What kind of advice would you give them?
Continue to learn every day. Don't get discouraged. Uh, Regardless of, and this goes also with music, because I'll be close to 40 years old. I began my musical journey like
And you don't look it. Oh my gosh, you're looking great. See, this is what it looks like, people, when you stay intact, you eat right, you eat healthy, you get enough sleep,
stay PT also, like stay physically fit. You don't have to be like a big
stay
muscle guy,
physically fit.
but exercise does help the mental health and the actual health of you. Like it keeps you, should I say, I mean, it's not always going to make you look younger, but it's going to keep you fit and keep you healthy no matter what.
Right. That's
But
right.
no, I would say don't get discouraged. Definitely keep. I mean, always look at every single failure is a step to success. That's the main
Hmm.
thing. Like you're not always going to have a client that's going to pay you for a session. Try to take should I say that TFP or trade for print session as a means to become better as a photographer. Why? Because every single session you are going to learn something new, whether it's for lighting, whether it's for camera setting, whether it's for a theme itself in photography. So every single session that you do, take it as a stepping stone for success. Um, Always be patient, because I would say the money is going to come and go no matter what. We've heard that from the movie Fast and Furious. Money comes and goes. What matters is what you
Right?
do today. No, like
Exactly.
that's what matters. If you continue to learn today, it's going to be a success tomorrow.
And then, so my next question is, can you tell us a little bit about audio, visual production?
Well, in reality, you are combining uh, music and video in one project. It could be a music video, it could be a documentary, it could be a movie, it could be anything. But in reality, you are combining all the different tools. Like for example, when it comes to graphic design, I was good. I'm still very good. Like when it comes to illustration and photo editing and photo manipulation using Photoshop, using Lightroom. Like I'm more into like my graphic design career was doing a lot more like marketing stuff, like publicity, and that is like flyers, logo designs, marketing campaigns, branding, stuff like that. So when it comes to audio visual, like you're combining all the different tools like music production, audio engineering, photograph, and even video, but you just combine it into one project. And it could be a music video, it could be a documentary, it could be a branding video, like a marketing video. It could be a movie. So
Hmm. So, so that's why you call it audio visual production instead of, I guess you say, film production.
yes, because I'm not a filmmaker. No,
Right.
like I'm just combining the different tools
Mm.
into
Stuff
one
that's already
into
done, and then you combine it.
correct. Yeah, and
Okay.
also because when it comes to film, film is a big thing. Like film is an entire different world. Like you use
It
different
is.
tools and you use like different tools in a different way. Like for
Oh
example,
yeah.
when it comes to video editing, I use Final Cut because that's what I learned when I was in school, and I kind of
Yeah.
like grew using Final Cut. I know that Final Cut is like the, should I say, the street version of using Premiere. People say that all the time, but in reality, you are using the creativity of doing something in video format
I agree.
versus Premiere is like you are actually taking footages, different clips, and making nice effects, angles, and all these things that come into film projects. Things that I don't have no clue about. Like, for
I
example,
think you would
for
get.
it,
I think you would get the hang of it. I think you would enjoy it. Directing, putting that sort of project together. Yeah, I think you would.
I mean, I know that I
Don't
would
limit
enjoy
yourself.
the what?
Don't limit yourself because I think you have that talent. I mean, if you can, here's the thing: if you have it in your mind to put together all those things that you just said, you're a director. You have directing skills. They're there.
I wish, and thank you for the compliments. I, but you know what? I'm more like a Steve Wozniak kind of guy, being behind the
Mhm.
scenes, being on the hands-on production part. Like I cannot be like out there directing, like being the should I say the center stage of a project. I cannot be that person. I can't.
Well, and see, the thing is, being a director, a film director, you have to have, trust your team,
Oh yeah,
and
definitely for
you have
sure.
your assistant director who, actually, the huge misconception is that the director is going to be doing all this talking, which they're not really going to be doing all this talking. They're only speaking to the lead actors, the actors they need to speak to, just all the lead actors. The other people involved, for instance, the first AD is going to be talking to everybody, the
The
production.
crew, the lighting
Yeah,
crew,
they're
studio
going to be
crew,
talking.
the
Yeah, so
secondary
they'll be
actors.
doing most of the talking while you're sitting on a chair, and all you have to do is when it comes time, you say action.
So actually, since you are in that kind of environment, let me ask you something about when it comes to filming and gear, because
Sure. Yeah, no
yeah,
problem.
that So I know I began working on my own film project, and I just have my camera and my cell phone, right? I know that people are, lenient to use their film gear, which is a lot bigger, a lot more expensive, and it has all these different gadgets or whatever. Do you think that you can provide the same quality of work with a cell phone and a simple basic video camera than a film project, and then with a film camera?
You can. It depends on what type of film you're doing, what kind of look you're looking for. Because if you remember a film like the Blair Witch Project, that wasn't done with this like 4K visual type camera. It looked like just a camera you put on your shoulder from back in the day, from the 80s, and then you're just shooting like this.
Yeah, kind of
And
like
that's
this.
basically what we see them using. And that was the look that they were going for. It made it more engaging. It made it more, scary. So it really depends on
The
what's the
kind of
look you're
theme.
looking for. You look at Titanic, you can't look at Titanic and then put that side by side to Avatar. Completely different things that we're touching.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Avatar is Avatar. It's 4K. It's uh, CGI, all that stuff, and you can't even put those side by side with Star Wars,
Oh yeah.
and you can't put those side by side with let's go back further. How about let's say Goonies?
Oh
It
yeah.
just
The
depends on the
Goonies.
look.
Wow.
The
Yeah, that's
Goonies,
true. And what
whatever
about
look
the?
you're looking for. And what
Yeah.
kind of
So
camera do you use?
I have
That
a
what's your
Canon
main?
Rebel. I have a Rebel T7.
I have a I have a Canon. I have a Canon, and I have a Sony Rebel. I have a Canon C2i. Canon C2i. So my Canon C2i is actually my Rebel Canon C2i to be long.
Hmm.
That is my baby. That is the one that I've been using to shoot my feature film.
I mean, it's like one of the good brands for video camera, for photo and
It
video
You can
with
take
Canon
pictures,
and Canon
video,
video. Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
rest is up to editing and me being creative.
Yeah, that was the one I was trying to look for my purpose, but no, obviously I had to go by what's in my budget, and that's one more important thing to all the people out there is like don't think about spending a lot of money if you're just starting off, or even if you're intermediate. Think about how how much you can do with a basic tool set, because if you can do and come up with great creative work with a limited budget tool set. It could be a camera with two or three lenses and a version of Lightroom or Photoshop, and you can still come up with great work. Now you can see your creativity growing, and the same with your clientele. And with that workflow, in a matter of months, you can create a bigger revenue, and then be able to invest in what other gear you want to get to improve your workflow, because that's the main thing. Spend money to improve your workload, not to add just because it's the latest and greatest. No, improve your workflow because it's going to help your own environment. What works
Right.
for you may not work with someone else, same vice versa.
I agree. And I think that there's too many people out there that think that, oh, I have a better camera than you. I'm like, yeah, but how? It's so funny. The same, someone who had once, tried to boast about his camera and its quality. And after learning what type of camera I use, the interesting thing is my video that I made for my client, same client that he worked with, has way more views than his video that he made for that client. Because people forget that story and the quality of what you put together once you're done filming it matters.
Yeah,
If
definitely.
the if people can sense energy within the film, If they like that energy, they're going to watch it over and over again.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if, and I've experienced winning an award, and I had not as much of the flashy, equipment as someone else, but because of how the film was made, how it flowed, it came out in a way where people, they liked it and they gravitated to it, and it won an award. And I'm happy about that. I'm like a witness that to what you're saying. You don't have to have all this expensive equipment to make something quality, something look with great quality, and actually have a story, because the story really matters.
Yeah.
And sell it to your audience. That's what you need to do. You need to make something that the audience can connect with. They're going to buy it. They're going to want to watch it again and again and again. And then they'll say, oh my gosh, I missed this. I've watched movies 10 or 20 times, and then I don't realize that something happened till years later. You ever experienced that where you you look at a picture, you see it. You see it maybe 50 times, but you see it again, you're like, wait, I didn't even notice that was there.
Yeah. Yeah.
This whole time, as many times as you've seen that film or you've seen that picture, you're like, I'm still just now seeing things I didn't see before.
I would say I will add to what you were saying, is that there's a very powerful and mystical connection when it comes to emotion and story to any kind of work. And that can be music video, music, or photography, or even a painting. There's a special connection that comes with the story that you want to tell and the emotion that you want to display in that piece of work. And people, sometimes people get caught up in the mentality of, getting high-paying clients and trying to do this kind of work for the money that it brings, and that's not the case. Like, if you're doing this kind of work, and I'm talking about any creative work, art, music, video, even graphic design or painting or whatever. If you're doing this kind of work because of the pursuit of prosperity or money, you are in the wrong stage. But you cannot do this kind of work because of money. You got to do it because you feel it. Once you do something because you feel it, you'll notice it, and people are going to notice it too.
Right, and I think that the rest fall into play too.
Yes, and then all the other pieces that come with the success of your work will be coming in, in its right time. Connections, should I say, getting an award because of work, getting more clients, or getting a big project that's going to last you for a year. So these are things that come with time. That's why I said patience is a valuable thing, but also do it because you love it. Do this because you enjoy doing it.
Right. If you can't keep doing something unless you have enjoyment out of it, it has to be more than just a passion. It has to be everything. You live it, you breathe it, you breathe it, you eat it, the rest of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna go to a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere. Everybody, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you get your questions, if you have any, for Alex Black, sent over to me in the comment section, and I'll pull them up. Okay.
Awesome.
I can't wait to hear what anybody has to say. If you have any questions, let me know. So here we go. Let's check out some of these commercials. Love you, everybody. we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for sticking around so that we can get to know Mr. Alex Black a little bit more and the crafts that he does because he wears more than one hat. Welcome back, Alex Black. And I didn't mean to rhyme. I just naturally do that anyway. I'm so sorry.
It's good. It's good rhyming, believe me.
So, with your music, what type of music do you work with specifically?
So right now I'm working on urban Latin, mostly reggaeton and Latin pop. Um, I have done a little bit of trap, but I'm not really a big fan of trap because it's like you just adding a different kind of rhythm to the reggaeton already. So it's not. I don't do much of trap and EDM or Afro house. I would say more like Afro house.
I understand. I like that. Have you ever thought about working with, like, let's say, rock?
Uh, well, my number
Because
one
my
band.
daughter said that she doesn't hear enough people who speak Spanish and sing in Spanish do rock, like, and sing
Well,
in
yeah,
Spanish.
because I mean, there's not much of rock bands in the Spanish culture. You see a Latin pop like Maná and Juanes and any other Latino uh, uh, pop artists in Latin America. But there's not much of rock bands. I my number one band that got me into music was Linkin Park. So I grew up
Yes,
in the 80s and 90s. So I grew up listening to Korn, Limp Bizkit, Blink-182, the Chili
same,
Peppers, Linkin Park.
same.
So along with all these rock bands that got me into music, and when I my first guitar songs that I was playing were all
Hmm.
rock music, System Up and Down as well. So, but once I began getting into uh, making music and producing music, I went what I knew musically at the time. And
Hmm.
if you think about musicality and technicality and production techniques and should I say workflow, definitely rock music is the hardest to do to arrange because of the
It is.
fast tempo and the arrangements that come with rock music, whether it's a melody or guitar melody or solo, even piano. Like I began practicing the song Bohemian Rhapsody on the piano. It's taking me a while. This is so hard. I mean, it's so hard for the unexperienced. That's why I said always continue to learn, always continue to
Right.
practice.
I think it'd be so exciting to have a rock band that sings in Spanish.
Yes, because even Mana, the Mexican band, they began playing rock music back in the when they first began playing music. Even Juanes, the Colombian singer, he began playing rock music too. But
Hmm.
it's not really known. And I guess
Right.
that because of the commercial music or the commercial industry, they pretty much steered towards the pop music, and that they became more known that way. Even Shakira began playing pop music too, and some rock music.
Yeah, because I've known her to do, she caters a lot to rock, but she has it in her style. I would say we need more. I think that we need more Hispanics to do rock music, a
And
little
I
on the scale like of Evanescence and Linkin Park style.
Yeah, but if you think about actually, I spoke with this with one of my instructors, and one of my instructors from Full Sail, he was a producer of the Backstreet Boys and the NSYNC back in the day. So shout out to Fat Rand. He's one of my greatest instructors. I admire him from my first class that I met him up until now. He's been one of my great mentors in music. And one of the things that he did say that is pretty much true is like the language comes into play
Mhm.
when it comes to singing. And when you think about rock music, when it's like a rise of going to a strong arrangement, a strong feel with the sounds and the fast tempo, you hear that a lot. You hear that cleanliness in the singing because of the language. If you think
Mhm.
about the words that are spoken in Spanish, they are a little bit thicker in accent, and
Well, I
some
like
of them
that
are
song. I can't remember who it's by, but it's called Malo. And
malo.
Malo eres.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
I'll have to
yeah,
send it to you when I'm done because I can't
yeah.
remember her name.
But yeah, but I know what you mean. So he said that based on the language and also because of the sounds that come with it, there's much less rock music in Spanish than in English. You see a lot more English rock stars because it's a lot easier to understand the
Mhm.
singing in rock music.
But I mean, like, if other languages can do it, we can do it too.
Well, I follow this band also. Is a Netherlands band. It's called Epica, but they somehow they sing in English, but they play rock music. They play like rock and symphony music, but it's all in English. But they are Dutch.
Hmm.
They have some songs sang that way, but you can since you don't understand them, you're like, what the hell is it saying?
Yeah.
So and it also comes down that when you sing, you're pretty much following a melody. You're following notes in a melody. If
Hmm.
whatever language you speak or whatever language you're singing is not creating a connection with the average listener, is not going to connect the song. Period.
Right.
So so I guess that what he was trying to teach us is that when you play around the levels of sound, the levels of noises, and the levels of the
Frequency.
words, the frequency of the words, you try to match it so it's understandable, but it's also clean. And you don't hear that a lot with the Spanish accent or with the Spanish language because of the words. Some words are a lot thicker, and when you pronounce the words,
Right. I would just say that we, just like everyone else, we have to find a different way to say it, say what we're trying to say.
yeah, and there comes the actual communication part. Like if you have an artist that's from a different country, or is from even whether it's Latina or American or Dutch or even Korean or Japanese,
French.
you're able to say, you know what, this melody sounds better, but if you say it this way. I'll give you one great example, and I think that almost everybody is going to laugh at this example. There's a song back in the day um, that was sampled by Ti and Rihanna. The song is called "Live Your Life." I mean, from Ti and Rihanna, but
Yes.
the sample song
I
is
know that song, yes.
from three French guys. Obviously, the chorus is what caught the song or caught the audience. The chorus of the song. The rest of the song is crap, but the chorus is what caught the listener. And if they hadn't made the chorus with the right words
Hmm.
in their language in French, it just wouldn't caught any listener at all.
I see.
So that was a play. I mean, they had to make the chorus of the song to fit the words that would catch the listener.
A little bit different. Yeah.
Yeah,
Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense.
yeah. But
When
the
you,
the the sample song from the Rihanna song is obviously it's the same sample song, but it's just a chorus that was grabbed.
have you ever worked with anybody, whether it's been in photography or in music production, who was nervous? And if so, how did you get them to kind of relax and not be so nervous?
Well, I offer different things. Like one thing that I don't offer at any session is alcohol. I don't offer alcohol at all. Like if you want a soda pop, if you want those like one of those like non-alcoholic champagnes or whatever like that is, or soda or even coffee. Like I offer anything to you. Water. Uh, Main thing I tell them is that if you want to listen to music, play any music that you want. If music gets you,
It usually helps. I promise it does. Especially for photo shoots, they always play some good
yeah.
music.
So I try to offer different things, different tools that makes the person relax and
Yeah.
feel
Take a
comfortable.
few deep breaths.
Because one thing, and also one more thing, nervousness comes with safety. Like, and that's why I offer everybody at least a free video consultation at the beginning of each meeting before we even schedule the photo shoot. Why?
Hmm.
Because number one, online online stuff, online crimes happen all the time, and that's because people don't take the proper precautions. And
Hmm.
by you looking at the person before you do a photo shoot is crucial, so that you can feel relaxed, feel acquainted, feel a little bit of okay, I can trust this guy or not.
Hmm.
And most people don't do that. They go blind. So
Hmm.
even if you know the information of the photo shoot, the arrangement, it doesn't mean that that arrangement is true. Like you
It's
have to
true.
go, like, and even scout for yourself. Oh no, this is a legitimate place or not. So I try to give the person, any person, a good sense of security when it comes to working with me, because that way you can know exactly who I am, who you're going to be working with, where you're going to be working with, and all that. Once we are in the session, I try to make it as cool as best environment possible. Make it fun, make it less of a protocol. Like make it fun, like make it fun for yourself. Um, and obviously, you can bring company with you if that's what you want, or if you want to be by yourself, uh, be be sincere on what you want. If you want, hey, I want some cokes. I want some chips or whatever. I want to have something to get me going, and I'll try to make it happen the best possible.
I like that. It really shows that you care about who you're working with, your client, whether that's with music or with photo shoots. Um, have you ever had to give any type of vocal guidance to someone musically?
Musically, no, not really. Most of the people that I have worked with have been pretty much very
They already
proficient.
knew.
Like
Okay.
they were already like pretty practiced in their vocal
Seasoning.
technique,
Seasoning.
and also because they had already practiced the song at home before they went
Hmm.
recording. So, and also because most of the time I spend in the studio is spending with the engineers and the producers creating. So like it's like we are creating the track, the instrumental track, so we can have later the vocalists come in and record. So we send them
Okay.
the instrumentation, and then they, oh, like, oh, I like this track, and then they practice that track at home or whenever, and then once they're ready to record, we just go record. So they have already been practicing the track on their
And
own.
what type of models, like, do you have a certain type of models that you prefer to work with? Are they pretty, like, particularly tall, short? It doesn't matter the height.
I don't care. I
You
don't
don't
have
care.
no preference. No, I have no preference. No, because like no, like there's no need for having a preference and working with a model. Like I think that every single person deserves to have a little memory of themselves at some point in their lives.
I like that.
And actually, I'm gonna say one thing that that was brought to my attention because I didn't notice it, but somebody told me this. It's like, hey man, you you have you having a little bit of experience in photography, and if you were to pursue a career in law enforcement, you can fit pretty well because you can direct and you can grab a good picture for any purpose.
I like that. Yeah,
And
I
also,
mean, it comes in handy to have those connections.
well,
It's
it's
not
good.
what you know, it's who you know.
But but you know what he said, that photography is good in two purposes, or at least when it comes to law enforcement and for art, is that
Sure.
when it comes to art, photography is meant to catch memories in a family event, weddings, baby showers, anything. It's meant to capture those
Graduation.
moments. Those, when it comes to law enforcement, a photography can be used for the same purpose to catch the bad guys, to catch evidence, to
Mm,
to pretty much catch what was not caught at the beginning of any investigation. By having a photograph is is good to have that memory because it can enable to catch bad guys or to save somebody.
I really
So
like that. That's very
yeah,
strong.
yeah.
Do you have any projects that are coming up that you want to advertise to anyone, or is everything sort of like confidential until release?
No, I would say I have obviously songs that are in the production stages now, and those are in the genres of reggaeton, urban Latin, and Afro house. So, whoever wants to collaborate with me, by all means, you can contact me through my social media, and we can talk further if you want to have like an one-on-one session, so we can create a song together, or if you just want to create or sing one of my tracks. In photography, I'm open for anything. Like if you want to try out a session with me, since a lot of holidays are coming up, like Valentine's Day is coming up.
Oh
Same.
yeah.
Then you have. I'm not sure if everybody celebrates Easter. Um,
Oh, I do.
so you have Easter coming up as well.
Hmm.
And also you can, if you want to just have a session with mom and daughter, husbands, couples, or just yourself, like, you can
Graduation.
yeah, contact me for anything. Even graduation or high school
Hmm.
graduation, same thing. Like what matters is that I'm all about capturing the moments the best way possible, right?
Right.
So that's where the photographer plays a big role in life, is to capture those moments.
Yeah.
And also, I'll bring one more thing. Like, I hadn't gone when I went to Colombia last month. I was at home with my mom and my brothers, and my dad had passed away back in 2013. Um, and we were just looking at family photos, and it was like, my God, like this photo, this memory, this event. So that's why it's always good to capture those memories, because down the road, 10 years from now, when your kids are grown or whatever, like they're gonna see, oh, that's my dad, that's my mom. What happened here? And you can have a big laughter of those moments. Um, uh, but yeah,
I like that. It's very
and
important that a photographer is passionate, like you are, about his work.
yeah, I mean, if you don't have any passion for this work, don't do it. It's going to ruin your life. Yeah, you must have some sort of a just a prosperity goal with this job, or with this kind of work. You must love it to do it. And as far as a film project, I mean, audiovisual, I mean, I have a documentary in the process now, but that's still in the works, so I really cannot disclose much of that information of the project itself. Um, but I'm definitely going to advertise that whoever wants to be participant on this project, they can, because it's going to be a project that's going to make a big difference in people's lives, and that's the goal, to create awareness.
I really like that. I like it when we talk about things that have to do with creating awareness on behalf of others who need a voice. Um,
Not only
how
that,
long is this documentary going to be?
um, rough. I mean, people tell me that is people tell me that it's not looking like a documentary now. It's looking more like a movie, because I've put in like plots and situations, and it's inspired by true stories. So, like, when you think about inspired by true stories concept, you are combining different stories into one project. So having it in 1 hour or so is not going to be enough, because a lot of the context can be I mean, can be left out, and that's not the purpose. The purpose is to have the stories in a concise and as complete as possible. So it's looking more like a 2.5 hour, 2 hours 40 minutes project. So I began filming since last year. I began taking some small clips here and there, and trying to get as much as information as possible for
When
to
you
make it.
started?
Yeah.
You started last year?
Yes, ma'am.
That's very good.
Yeah.
Mm.
But again, it's a right now it's a solo project. So I mean, as I
No, but
grow on,
you're supposed to take your time. People think you're supposed to have to like done in 3 months or 6 months.
no,
No, no. It
no,
depends
take
on
your
the
time.
project, depends on the scale, and you don't rush great art.
Yeah, you don't
Get done.
you don't rush it. I mean, get it right.
Get
You
it
know,
right.
as far as if you know that the idea that you had in your mind is there, then you are successful in your project, because what you had thought is there. Now, if you're looking for a review, if you're looking for getting an award or getting funding, leave all that out in the process of making your project, because what you want is to successfully complete the project. The reviews and the feedback is going to come later.
Yeah,
What matters
everything
is
will
that
come
you do it
later.
and release it. Yeah.
Have you ever had anybody rush you and say, "When's it gonna get done? When's it gonna? When do I
All
get
the
my
time.
pictures?" Oh my
All
gosh,
the
I
time.
know.
Yeah. Like every single photographer. I mean, I'm only going to speak on photography in this aspect, not in music. Music can be, it varies because if you're working
Right.
from
That's,
home, you
people
can
should
just,
know that one.
yeah. But
But
when it
people
comes to
seem
like
more lenient when it comes to music than when it comes to like photography or when it comes to filming.
yeah, because so I'll tell you this: I'm not a mix and mastering engineer. I know the basics of mix and mastering, but I don't mix and master my own songs. I send them out to somebody else to mix it for me.
For sure, it's
If,
good to have somebody take some of the weight off.
yeah, exactly. But also because when you mix and master your own songs, is they're not always going to come out the right way. But having somebody else that can look at your track and be like, okay, we can play with the sounds. If the production is right, the mix and mastering engineer can make it better. Make sense?
Oh yeah,
That's one thing. But when it comes to music, if I'm working on music at home, I just take my time and doing it right, and making the track as best as possible. And if it's for a client, well, I give them a realistic estimated delivery time and day. Okay,
right.
because I have my own job too. Like everybody should have jobs.
Yeah,
Don't if this is your only job, great. You are working that full time. But for a lot of people who have families, either spouses or just kids or whatever, or single moms, or and or they have to depend a lot on sole income, and you are using this as a secondary way of income, and great. But you have to manage your time and give
right.
realistic delivery times and days for your projects.
Right.
Now, going back to your question on rushing and people rushing me for a delivery, well, it happens all the time because a lot of people think that we edit like that. And yes, there are tools nowadays that come with actions that you can just click, 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 and boom, you can
But
edit from.
it takes away from what you're trying to do with your project as the artist.
Yeah, and
The
also because not all
auto
photos.
edit doesn't really
Yeah,
cover everything.
yeah, and it also comes because they think that editing is just working on the colors but if you think about blemishes, little spots here and there, um, lighting. If there's an item or an element in the photo that has to be removed, all those
Hmm.
things come with a process of doing it the right way.
Right.
I began using
Exactly.
Photoshop from the get go. So I learned should I say, the old way, the old, the
The
old,
classic way, the
yeah,
classic.
yes, correct, of doing something in Photoshop.
Hmm.
And I know that
They
with,
call it classic for a reason.
yeah, I have a bunch of actions on my Photoshop that is like sometimes it's annoying to use because I'm so used to the old way of doing it because I got used to it so much that
Hmm.
that even though I have adapted to doing all the new tools, these actions are created by other people that don't always have the same procedure as you. So the actions may not always be executed the right way for your photo on your screen. So you still have to go back into, oh, I didn't want this little blemish here, so let's try to fix that. So it's kind of like going back and forth between the actions may not always be beneficial.
Right. I
So so
mean,
I so I go by I go by the basics. I edit
but
a whole bunch of photos as
yeah.
far as the lighting, exposure, um, levels and curves and all that. I mean, all the stuff that all the photographers know or should know. I go by having a consistent theme for the photos as far
Right.
as the lighting and the colors and all that. Then I go into in detail, okay, which photos are the ones that the client selected to be edited, and then we can go on and eliminate all the stuff that has to be edited.
I like
um,
that.
and then I go into the retouching, skin retouching, and then doing all the fine tuning of these selected photos. I'm not going to edit all the photos because believe me, if you're going to edit
That is
a
a
thousand
lot of
photos, no, no, that's not
that's
gonna
a
happen.
lot of work.
No, no, and also because I'm not sure how. I'm not sure how photographers work, because every single photographer has their own business model. So every
Mhm,
single has their own protocol, their own standard, as far as how they manage the photos with the clients.
mhm.
But one thing that I do know is that whenever I do a photo shoot, I give you the raw photos, but it's to let me know which photos you liked that are going to be edited. Me as a photographer, I'm going to also pick my own photos and
Mm,
see which ones are good for edit as well. So I'm going
right.
to give you a consistent packet of the ones that you selected plus the ones I selected, and then that's your packet. That's your delivery product,
I
right?
like that.
So
Mhm.
that way, the client nor me are going to be dissatisfied with the photos. It's going to be a collective. Oh, I like this. It's good. It's good to go. It's approved. And then I'm on to the next client.
It got the green light. It's going. It's sending on its way.
There you go.
Now,
But
are you currently building a website where people can get like a one-stop, area where
yes,
people can come
yes, my
and
website is actually under development now. I had one website a couple of years ago, but it hasn't been, updated for a long time. So, me and my and actually it's me and one of my best friends who actually created the site for me. He's also a graphic designer, so I we had agreed to meet up sometime this month so we can be able to reconnect and see what the site needs to get rebuilt on, so we can update it with new stuff, new content, new procedures, new forms, and also price packages, because all these prices change all the time.
It's
Yeah.
true. And
Yeah.
do you ever offer like special package deals?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I mean, I'm flexible when it comes to prices, even though sometimes people say, "Oh, you should never underestimate your work." No, I'm working with a client, so I'm trying to be
Mhm.
flexible with the client
And
because
it's personal. It's between you and that client.
yeah,
So,
and it's also personal with the client for one, and number two is like not everybody is going to have the same budget, and number
right.
three is like, but you're giving a quality work, you're not really um, uh,
Mining
yeah,
your
you're not
work.
undermining your work. You are giving the same quality of work just at a different price.
Right. And for different reasons. Maybe there
Yeah,
was not as much, you know how like when people do graphic design, they go by how much detail is incorporated. So you have beautiful quality, right? But let's say you maybe they're in black and white. Maybe it's like you give somebody a discount deal because it's in black and white, or maybe you charge more because it's black and white. Because some people think of black and white differently. Some of them they charge more for black and white prints than color prints, which is very strange to me.
well, the thing is
Um,
that with black and white is really difficult sometimes to get all the little details. Let's say the skin blemishes, the eye colors, the lips shape, like all those things have to be manually done once the photo is in black and white, because
mhm,
now you're having to go back to retouch and bring out all the stuff that was hidden on the first change. So there's a lot of things that had to be done with black and white pictures. When it comes to black and white logos, for example, or black and white, should I say, marketing campaigns that are only black and white, pretty much you're just doing layout, because
right.
if it includes text and if a logo is black and white, well, if your logo is black and white in Illustrator, it's going to be black and white in PDF. So, so it's about you knowing how to use your tool set. If you know how to
Hmm.
use your tool set, you can deliver a product the same quality or even better than one has high gadgets. It's about
Exactly.
knowing how to use your tool set.
I agree. Well, don't go anywhere after the show. I'm just going to go end the show. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to the Flawless Dreams Radio Show with your girl, LeeLee Da Goddess. And thank you again, Alex Blacks. Again, wanted to let everybody know where they can find you on social media platforms one more time, just in case they didn't get a chance to hear from you in the beginning.
Okay, so if you're on Instagram, you can look for my music and graphic design stuff in Alex Ramirez Productions. If it's photography, just Alex Black Photo.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us today. We wish you well, and I look forward to collaborating with you in the future. I think that that's something
Likewise.
that's going to happen. So, and blessings to you for everything that you're working on currently.
Thank you, ma'am. You too. And I'll
We'll
see
have
you
to have you
tomorrow.
back on the show.
Okay,
This is
of
not the
course.
last time.
Okay, thank you. We'll see. Thank you much.
Okay, ciao.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in again. It's your girl, LeeLee Da Goddess. If you would like to set up an appointment to make an episode on my show, reach out to me. You know where, on Facebook, Lee Cruz. That is typically where I can be reached. Or you can go to the Facebook page, Flawless Dreams Radio Show.